Hi, everybody. My name is Lucinda, and it's been a long time coming, but I've wanted to do a podcast to be able to talk to you and show you way more than I can on social media and let you know a little bit about our life. So I thought I would call our podcast Knitting from the Forest because this is where we live. I'll give you a little tour in just a little bit. But we live in the forest. The seasons change, they inspire what we do. My husband and I and little Poochie own Montrico in Sutton, Quebec. We ship worldwide. We love color. Everything related to color is really our jam. And we really wanted to be able to take some time and share a little bit more about ourselves and a little bit more about what drives us, what inspires us. And I'm wearing the new Saski's jumper from the Petite Knitter. And Wei Chen made this sweater and designed this sweater based on the Mooncake Festival or the Autumn Festival. And she was also inspired because she has a little bunny named Sasky, so that's the name of the sweater. And I'm wearing this because not only do I love this sweater, but I really love that she gets inspired by nature and the world around her. And that's very much how we are here. Right now, the leaves are just starting to change color. We'll probably be in peak in about a week or so. So we're very excited because that's our favorite time of year. And I thought I would start every episode with showing you a little bit about the world around us. And even if it's in winter and we do the video inside, I'll always start with a little bit of what it looks like in our neck of the woods. I'm reminded by a saying that says, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it really happen? So if a knitter knits in the forest and nobody sees it, does it really happen? So this is our way to document what we love and what we do. So I will put notes in the comments, in the description with links to everything. And if we have kits, we will add those kits as well. One thing to remember is if you ever want to have a kit made up for you, we share so many patterns and designs. We can't physically make kits for everything, but if you contact us, there's nothing we love more than helping put a kit together for each person individual that suits their needs and is really suiting their personality and their style. So there you go. So here we are in the forest. Leave me questions of what you want to know. There's actually a lot that I have to share. Let's talk first about this sweater. So this sweater is knit in the tuku fingering. They just re-released tuku fingering in 100-gram skeins, and it's more efficient. There's less waste, which is always good, and it's the same tuku fingering we've always known, perhaps a little softer, who knows, but it's just really beautiful. This pattern was designed by Wei Chin in the tuku fingering, so it's a perfect match for it, and we absolutely love it. Who wants to see some of my new projects that are in the works? So first of all, we'll do, today's a Wednesday, so I'm going to do whips in Wednesday, and we'll look at a few of my whips. We can't look at all of them because the list is super long, and we'll just talk to you a little bit about them. So the first one is, this is the Art Yarns Rhinebeck sweater in Silky Twist. It's a stranded knitting design, and it's knit with Silky Twist, which is a worsted Aran weight sweater, and it's super easy to knit, really a lot of fun. I just have a little bit longer to go on the length. I'm very excited to wear this as the weather gets a little cooler, and before you know it, the sleeves will be on. I just decided maybe I'll start the sleeves so that I can see what length I want truly. So there you go. I'm not sure if the colors show up super well because I'm doing this outside, but anyways, I think it's worth having it outside for today. So this is my Silky Twist whip. There we go. I also have a whip Mary Green, and I'll put links to patterns like I said, and maybe I'll try to put a picture of what the original looks like as well as the yarn, so if the lighting is not good. So this is a pattern by Mary Green, and it has a beautiful shawl collar with a little contrast design, and I'm working the neckline before working the sleeves just because I thought it's a little bit less of it moving around. So this just came out last week, and you're probably wondering, how on earth did I get this going? So one of the things that I've worked on recently, and I've been teaching myself as well, working with another friend, Andrea, to learn, is how to use a machine. So I did this, the front and the back on the machine, and I did the ribbing by hand. If you feel like you'd like to watch me in progress, I could do an episode down in my knitting machine room. This is very new to me, so I'm just learning. It's a big step for me because it'll allow me to do some things a little bit faster and more efficiently. So we knit the ribbing by hand, and when I say we, it's because Gilles, as you know, is the ribbing department and he helps me. So once the ribbing is done, I hang it on the machine, and then I'm able to get the full length of the back. There was some shaping that was required, and you don't see it super well because it wasn't short rows, it was just binding off. So normally in the hand knit pattern, you knit the bottom up in the round until you get to the separating for the armholes. So it's easy whether you knit it by hand or by machine, it just goes a little faster. And we are going to have a contrast color here, which is going to be a bright pink. And I'll take a picture of that. And then there's an I cord that goes along the shoulder and all the way down the sleeves. So that's a really cool design. It's like a modern take on a shawl collar pullover, almost like a ski sweater that you would have seen in many, many, many years past. Now I want to talk about my whips with Cautiva. So Wool Dreamers has a new yarn. We love Mutta, which is their DK worsted. And this is the new palette of the Cautiva, which is a fingering slash sport weight. And it's absolutely beautiful. 22 colors available. And it has 170 meters for 50 grams. It's a 2-ply sport weight. And it is very similar to the Mutta, just a few different natural local wools from Mota and in that area. So this is being able to support the vital resource of Spain, and they have beautiful colors. So the first whip that I'm working on is the Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. I'm doing the test knit. Some of you may know that I had a little bout with COVID and a nasty cough, so I'm a little behind on my test knit, but I absolutely love it and hoping to get back to it today. So I'm using this beautiful yellow, which is color 953G, and I'm using Rusted Rainbow. And look at it, how it has all the beautiful colors of fall. And it's really like, it's what we find here in the forest. So this is really inspired by autumn and inspired by all the beautiful colors we have here. So this is my current whip, but I'm doing a collaboration with Pope Vergara. As you know, we are good friends, and we decided, what if we do a collaboration? And I love stripes, she loves stripes, so we're going to do a collaboration, and the theme is stripes. We will take the same template of a design, and we will add our take and our creativity to stripes. Because Cautiva has so many beautiful colors, I really wanted to incorporate a project where I could use a lot of the colors. In my project, you'll see I use 8 out of the colors and 1 of the neutrals, and I'll show you how that looks like. It's on needles. It's a little bit, hold on one second. So I'll show you the back. And this is the sleeve. And it's knit a little bit looser. And then we're going to come to the front and pick up stitches. So I'll work on the second sleeve today. It's absolutely great drape. I absolutely love it. And it's really just a great yarn. So for all your sport weight needs, fingering needs, I love that there's 50-gram balls. So if you wanted to do color work, you would be able to use a lot of colors and still not need to buy a lot of yarn. It retails for $12.75, which is very affordable in our online store. Or here, I always like hats. Do you knit hats? Anyways, so I have a dreaded fear of moths, but Amba came up with the cutest pattern with moths. And so I'm knitting it with the Julie Asselin Lezu fingering, which is a merino yak base, and a spin cycle, and the ball just rolled way over there. So it's Salty Dog for if you wanted to know. And it's just a really fun hat. I'm doing the fingering version. It'll be released sometime mid-October. And I think it would be fun. And I figure if I knit it, it wards off all the evil moth spirits with all the yarn, all the stash, and all the sweaters I have. So that's my take on that. I love it. The colors are great for it. Now that's some. Oh, I have one more. So Pope Vergara is doing a design with Julie Asselin's Lezu, not Lezu. I love her Lezu, so I just say Lezu for everything. So she's doing it with Nurtured Fine and with Anatolia, and it's called Dragon Scales. The test knit will officially start mid-October, but I wanted to get a head start. This was actually my COVID cast on, so I could feel good about life and not feel so depressed that I was coughing and hacking. So it's absolutely beautiful. It's got some textured twisted stitches, some beading, and pretty soon it's going to have an I-cord. So I did an I-cord here already, so I'll incorporate the I-cord in a little bit. So you'll see more about this design. It's just really, it's a beautiful design, and it has some really great texture, and it's going to be classic and super beautiful to wear. You'll be seeing more of that in the next couple of weeks. How about some of my finished objects? So we'll just pause and we'll do a little switcheroo of outfits, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So just wanted to change into my Missoni slip stitch sweater from Art Yarns. I made this and Kathy helped me finish it. So yeah, the other day, was it yesterday? I think Art Yarns did a video with hers, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So she did hers with a merino cloud and a rainbow gradient. And mine is also with a merino cloud, but with a blue gradient. So anytime that you see an Art Yarns pattern, if you buy the yarn from me, I'm more than happy to give you the pattern for free. This sweater just feels amazing. And it's really a super fun one to knit. It's all slip stitches. So if you ever are afraid of stranded knitting or whatnot, it just really looks good. I'm wearing shorts, so maybe not the best look with it, but they kind of go. So here you go. This is the Missoni slip stitch sweater, and it's really a beautiful sweater to wear. It's warm and yet it breathes, so it's really comfortable to wear. Many of you have seen my clay sweater, my clay cardigan, which I absolutely love. So Suzanne Faubert helped me with this because, as you know, there's only one of me and not enough of, and way too many projects. So it's an absolutely fun project to knit. I'm going to do a video that I'll put later on how to do the clay beads, but I thought I would just show you. It's really easy. We have a little tool that helps you thread the clay beads, so there's no worry for that. I wear this just about every day. It is super lightweight. It's warm when you need it to be and cool when it's a little bit hot outside. I absolutely love it. Now, my peak season sweater. So this is my peak season sweater, which I also have been wearing lots. I have to work on the pattern. It's done in rough format, but I need to add the different sizing, and that just got delayed a little bit by my bout with COVID, but it's going to be there and be available very soon. Once again, this is with Art Yarn's peak season colorway, which I will show. One Skein does a shawl, so absolutely beautiful colorways. I love this sweater. I've been wearing it lots now that it's gotten a little bit like fall, although today is kind of funny because it's like summer that just came back, so it's a little bit hot, a little bit humid. Not the best weather for wearing knits, but that's okay. We're in the woods. We're in the woods. We're in the mountains. It's always a little bit cooler here. A few degrees. I also want to talk about Koi Goose Festive packs, which are just amazing. They're all on pre order. I'm not a fan of mystery boxes too often, just because I'm very particular in how I like my colors. I also love that Koigu lets us see what these, they call them festive packs. Some people call them Advent or holiday, whatever you want. They'll be available, and they're available now on our website as a pre order, and they'll ship so that you could start knitting with them in December. So the first one I thought I would show you is this one, which, oh, that's the DK. I'll show you the fingering one first. So we have a fingering one. And this festive pack is got 25 mini grams of 25 grams each. So quite substantial, quite a lot of yarn, and really a lot of fun to knit up with. And you can get some really amazing patterns. I'll link up. Amba has some patterns. Paper Daisy has some patterns. Paper Daisy is Lisa Ross, but there's a lot of designers that have patterns that use a lot of minis. So these are beautiful. We also have a DK weight version, which has 24 minis, and the 24 and the DK weight has 60 yards each. So it's about 1,440 yards. And these are, this one's called Modern Holidays. So you have pinks to grays, which is really gorgeous, if you can see. And I actually have the Koigu Trunk Show at the store right now, and I thought I'd show you a couple of samples that could be knit with it. So this one here, let's take a look. This one's called Fizzalicious Wrap, and it's made with, you need 2 coordinating skeins of jasmine and the kit, and we can always help you with coordinating skeins. So it's an absolutely beautiful wrap with a fun little stitch. And look how you can show off all the colors. And it's a rectangle shawl on the bias and absolutely gorgeous. It's nice, it's long. Let's take a look at the length so you can see. So really it's nice, it's long, it's a gorgeous wrap. And that stitch is so much fun to do. There you go. And now let's take a look at the other one. So this is the Wrap It Real Good shawl. And this colorway, we actually have it in stock. So if you wanted this one right away. And this one just takes one kit and you go from one color to the next. Also nice and long, a little less than the other one because you have the extra skeins, but beautiful nonetheless. So there you go. So I thought I would just get this started. We will start showing more segments in our little videos here. And what I want to do is I want to show you what Gilles been working on. We'll do that next week because he's been working on a rock wall for us. He's been changing up the garden. So I really want this to be showing you about us, the shop, the patterns, things that interest us. But for today, I'll keep it nice and short and sweet. We do have a little video with Zoe from Woolerton Estates. They came a couple of days ago, so we were able to film a little bit. I think the next person will be Julie Asselin. But we have a lot of events coming up, and I will share them as well. Just excited to be part of the podcasting scene, be able to connect with you in a little bit of a different way. I would love to get any kind of hints or anything, any advice, or if you have any suggestions, I'm open to them. So thank you very much. We will see you soon. And how often will I do this? It'll be spontaneous, it'll be fun, and it'll be as we're able to do them. So hopefully maybe about every other week or so. I don't want to make them overly long, but I do want to make them meaningful and with just the right amount of us. So thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Hi guys, this is Lucinda, and I have my first guest, Zoe. What's your last name? Desborough.
Don't you know this? After
I do
years?
know this, but I always don't say the S, so that's interesting. So of Woollerton Estates Yarns. So my very good friend that we're here to talk about the beautiful yarns that are from Woollerton Estate Yarns, and I am wearing the Shanty tee.
Yep.
From Creacion Andy. We'll put the links and everything, so you don't need to worry about all that. I am wearing it, and it is made out of the Engineer, which is a merino with tweed, Donegal neps, beautiful neps there, and beautiful coloring. I'm wearing mine, which I did my my stranded knitting part in Spin Cycle because it's always fun to see it change. But love this, love the feel of it. It's super cozy and lightweight. And you're wearing something special too.
I'm wearing something special too. So I am wearing the brand new pattern by Pope Vergara. This is the clay cardigan, and Pope designed it with the Cousin Burley, which is the Woollerton Estates Surrey and silk base. So it is a beaded cardigan, and it's super nice and light. It is a one-strand project, so super easy. Lucinda has really great colors. The colors are coming up really good. I think it's because we're on a silver table.
That
and
could
it's
be.
reflecting.
We'll get better at this.
That's why that was a good color for cameras, because that's
so we'll get better at this, and we'll do other videos. So the original is made with the Cousin Burley as the body and the Engineer as the trim. And I guess one of my first questions for you, Zoe, is how do you feel that you have these two designers, one from Quebec and one from Chile, that have designed in your yarns?
It's pretty insane, especially since I've only been dyeing for 2 years now, and it's just been the last year that's been really like dyeing to fulfill shop orders. So I'm now in, I've counted 11 shops.
Wow.
Through Canada and the States, and so you guys are the first retail shop to carry Woollerton Estate Yarn, so that was really fun to see.
Very exciting.
And it's fun because like we're across the pond neighbors. Literally, we're like the same level but across the lake. So
what's the name of the lake?
Memphremagog.
Yeah. So there's, if you in the region where we are, we're in the eastern townships, and there is a big lake, and that separates us. We could either go to each other's home through the States, which is a little bit faster, but you have the border, so transporting yarn not as easy, or you can go around over by Magog. There is a monster called the Memphremagog Lake Monster. I don't really know what his name is, but he is in there like the Loch Ness Monster. There is a monster there, and but we've never
my
seen
GPS, I sent a message, like a vocal message to my wife, and Magog came out as Magoogle. So we live near Magoogle, which is my favorite now.
And so we have to go to Magoogle to get to Stansted. So we wanted to show off the beautiful yarns here. We're very excited because the weekend of Rhinebeck, neither one of us are able to go. So we are going to be hosting the Rhinebeck in Sutton on this Saturday. Julie Asselin will also be joining us. So I'm hoping to video with her as well. Zoe got me the special mic so I could look important. And like I'm a real podcaster. And so one of the things that Zoe's going to bring is a brand new yarn for that event. And I'm very excited about it. It's called the Fluffy.
I'm super excited about it. We debuted it this weekend at Petite Laine, which is a yarn fest in Rivière-du-Loup, Quebec. And so the Fluffy, it doesn't look like much on a skein, but knit up, it is amazing. And these are 100 gram skeins of a tubular kind of nylon thread with alpaca and merino spun through it. So it is ultralight, but it is so cozy.
So I'll show you a little bit. When I first got a couple of skeins, it inspired me to do something really fun. So I'm knitting a cardigan, and I'm using the Spin Cycle Plump Heliotrope color, which is our exclusive colorway. Of course, you could use another color of the Fluffy, and it would work really nice. I'll just show you how it fits. I'm working on
Look at that. So nice. Well, don't fall over.
Yeah. I'm working on the ribbing right now. I want it a little bit longer. And the sleeves, of course.
Yeah.
And
If you had your own hand spun, that would also look
Oh
really
yeah,
good. So if you have like a skein of hand spun yarn that is like in a bulky weight, it is a perfect project for
especially if you're newer to spinning and you're not as refined. Like the thick and thin, I think, because even the plumpy has a bit of thick and thin.
Yeah.
And so it looks really good. But I love your project. Tell us about it.
I have never brioached it before. Ever eaten a brioche either. I'm allergic to all of the ingredients, but I have brioached my first cardigan, so I'm still working on it, and now it's coming out like super pastel on the screen, but it is a neon yellow and a pastel purple. Sure. You might need an extension cord though, because the needles are
I'll make it work.
So
famous last words.
Brioche, 2 colors, never tried it, and I love it. I'm usually a colorwork knitter, but this is great.
Oh my god, this is so cozy.
This is the fluffy ass cardigan by Clara Eggers. I do have a hot chocolate stain like right here, so don't look at that. But it is reversible.
It's reversible, so
yeah. So that's the inside technically. So my outside, the dominant color, my main color was the purple. So I love it. I'm still on my first skeins. So as I said, these are 100-gram skeins, and they are 281 yards. I have this much left of both skeins, and I'm still on my first.
Yeah. So these skeins go for a long way.
Yeah.
On my cardigan here, I'm at my 2 skeins as well. I know I'll end up with a 3rd skein, and I'm going to do a ribbing around the front edge and a bind off, like maybe an I-cord bind off with the heliotrope just to pull it all together. But it's a yarn that goes a long way, so for most people, 3 to 4 skeins is going to be it. And I'm sitting.
You're sitting on it. Okay, we're good. Are we? No, we're good. No. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Alrighty. So yeah, so that's Zoe came over today because I had to pick out my colors, and maybe we could take a look. So the colors, depending on the base, can look very, very different. So it's kind of like a magic surprise to pick colors right now, because we're picking them on a merino base, and there are so many beautiful colors. And if we're further back, actually, to the screen, you see the colors really well.
A bit better. So if you edit this, you'll see them better. So obviously we're outside right now, so the colors are not necessarily the brightest. Like, this is not the right color shades, but I have over 75 colors, and this is like my go-to colors. There are a lot of like summer colors. The speckles aren't included in here, and I'm working on a bunch of new ones. So these are some of the dyed to orders that I do. Plus, you guys carry a lot of colors already in the shop.
So in the Burley and the Engineer, we have quite a lot of colors. We've just sold quite a few of the kits for the clay cardigan that we currently have, so we actually got more colors on the Burley because we do really well with it. It's super soft, and everybody wants to knit. You could do the pullover as well. Yeah, I really like this because I know even in winter when it's the heater's on, I'll be able to wear it like just very comfortably.
I mean, it's not cold. Today's 21 degrees in the sun, but we're in the shade and in the mountains, and it's like, no, it's not. You're in shorts right now, so it's not chilly. But since it's a one strand, it's also really light, so I find it really adaptable to the weather.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah. So what else? Tell us a little bit about where you're located and about what changes happened in the past year.
So for those of you who do know me, I used to have a yarn shop in Montreal called Crochet & Co. So my wife and I are co-owners of that, and Lucinda was a really great mentor. Her and her husband Jill have been our like mentors for the shop. We are chosen family, so you guys are like our chosen. We call you guys our aunts and uncles. Like, you guys are great. So I had my shop in Montreal, and we bought a house, as I was saying earlier, in the Eastern Townships. It's a almost 200-year-old house, and funny enough, the house on the logo was my dream home, and we ended up buying a house that's pretty close to it. So it was a dream come true. And what's great about it is that we're turning it into a knitting retreat. So knitting, fiber, crochet, all of those things. We're turning it into a arts and crafts retreat, hopefully by the next fall, because we're in the process of closing down Crochet & Co., doing my studio for Woolerton in the basement, and so next fall we'll be able to have our first guest, and I believe you're going to be one of our first like guest star teachers.
I hope so. Oh, I love teaching, and we don't have this space at the store anymore.
So I was in Vancouver like a week ago, and I met Gudrun Johnson. I hope I'm pronouncing her name properly. She lives in Massachusetts, not too far, and I was totally starstruck, and I could not get a word out, but I ended up saying, I love you so much, and she would be interested in coming for a retreat. So could you imagine the two
That would
of you?
Be great. Oh, it would be
great. great. So great. So we're hopefully going to have a lot of people over.
Yeah, it would be. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking, Zoe, Marie, and I, and Jill, we had a really lovely friendship. And while we had two different shops, that now I think our friendship can blossom a little more because it changes a little bit the relationship, and that love them very much. And we just want to carry the yarns because the yarns are beautiful. They're different to what other yarns we carry. So we do carry a silk mohair, and we have a little bit of your silk mohair, which is nice, but we choose to carry the alpaca silk because it's a little bit different, and people that may be allergic to the mohair have found that this is really soft. I know I want to add this with like maybe do one where you combine the two textures. Would be super cozy.
I've seen a couple of samples of that done up, and it looks really great, and it's quite soft.
Yeah.
Because the tweed is a superwash merino. It's soft. Like, don't get me wrong, it's soft, but there's something just really special about the Surrey silk that when you add it to an already soft yarn, it just becomes even softer. So.
And I think ultra cozy, like just something you're never gonna want to take off. Definitely. I'm crazy for this. I started a sweater. Wasn't quite crazy about what it is. Well, no, I started the cadre one in the pink, so I need to do something else, but I'm thinking I might make a cardigan or something that I'll wear a lot. So if you guys have any questions for Zoe, because she's somewhat of our neighbor, we don't have any neighbors on our 5 acres here much, so please feel free to leave questions. Let us know. You do have other yarns, which we can't carry them all because our store is small, but if ever anybody wanted to do a special request or if we're ever doing a trunk show, I know the next trunk show is all about the fluffy.
Yep. I mean, this one here for the winter time, like for Christmas, I think I'm going to be doing some sock kits for it.
Oh, that would be great.
So I have some sparkly yarns also for the winter. But you guys saw me flash this at the beginning. I am working on my Alpine Bloom by Caitlin Hunter. Or Boylan Knits. So this is just a cream color and a black. I love this, but this is a merino cashmere nylon, so it's great yarn. This is the Highness, and the Highness is coming out this fall. Okay. So the Highness and the Distinguished are the two new fall, like deep fall yarns. One is the merino yak silk, and the other one is merino cashmere nylon. So that'll.
Do you have the merino yak silk?
Not on me today.
So we'll look at that another time. It's similar and yet different than the burley, and we're happy and content and in love with the burley right now. So we're sticking with this one, but we might get a few skeins to play around with on the other one because I'm.
Oh, you meant the gentle?
The gentle.
Oh, I have my sample of the gentle. So no, the Distinguished which is coming out this fall is a DK merino. Like it's a regular yarn, but the Distinguished, I actually have it undyed with me, is so the Surrey is 325 yards. The gentle is 437 yards, and it is a gray base because it's composed with yak. So it is yak, alpaca, merino, and silk. So it's a cross between your Surrey silk, but add in some yak. What I find is that it's more. Now, in French, a lot of people say mousseux, so it's not foamy as in like bubbly foamy, but it has more of a brushed feeling than the Surrey has. The Surrey looks more like hairy, like a traditional hairy yarn, but this one here, you can see that it makes kind of more of like a
halo.
Yeah, and I'm holding it double as well. So I'm currently making my version of the cardigan that I'm wearing in this one. So this one is really great. Have a bunch of colors. It'll be up on the website soon enough, and we're going to be doing kits for it too.
And the other thing I wanted to ask you is, what's your favorite color? Because it's unusual to see you work in a neutral.
Well, okay, so this one, the excuse is that my beadwork is all like going to be fancy colors. Neons are my neutrals to begin with. My two favorite colors are purple and yellow. But there's one colorway that if I had to choose the colorway I would be is the colorway Alice. Okay. I don't think you guys carry Alice.
Oh, what, do you have a picture or do you have?
I have a bit of it. It was that ball of orange stuff in the kitchen. So Alice is a mix of hot pink, hot orange, and yellow. And I do two types of it. I do either more of a like super punchy neon or a more pastel-y version of it. And if I could be a color, that would be it. It's just it makes me really happy.
So how come it's not called Zoe?
I didn't want it to be called Zoe. Okay. I already have a base with my face on it. So my base is the Jack of all trades. Also, I don't know, did you show them the labels?
Yeah, I love the labels. So the labels are really important. And you can tell from when you first see them that they're just very cool. So let's talk a little bit about this one.
Engineer. So I chose the engineer for the tweed because, first of all, tweed is very technical, outdoorsy type of fabric. And Marie-Ève, my wife, is an engineer. And so for me, engineer and tweed kind of went together logically. So that is Marie-Ève. That was illustrated by one of my tattoo artists. And then Cousin Burley is named after my four-legged fuzzy doggy nephew, Burley. The mohair is Cousin Benny for his brother Benson. And then, so we have a bunch of really cute things. But the jack of all trades, master of none is me because I have half a PhD. I quit to start the yarn shop and yarn dyeing. So,
well, thank goodness you did.
I'm very happy doing that.
Will there be a chulita color, a Jill color?
Yes, I'm gonna do Christmas kits for you guys.
Yeah, very exciting. Did you hear that, Jill?
I heard.
Yeah, I don't know what color for Jill yet, though. Do you guys have any suggestions?
If Jill speaks a color to you, then
yes, let us know what color Jill is.
He's a blue guy.
He is, huh? I've been Googling about, I can't remember the name of it, but I've been seeing a lot of videos about it. People who have this thing when they see a name, they see a color.
Oh, like an aura, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an aura per se, but let's say that you'll say the name like Matthew, and they'll say like, oh, Matthew evokes like a particular color for me. Huh? So I'm really intrigued to see what Jill gives me. Because usually when I make a color and I look at it, I know exactly who it is.
Okay.
Like this one for me has always been Bruce. I don't know why. Well, I think I do know why. I was listening to Don't Let Me Down by ELO, and they kind of say Don't Let Me Down Bruce, but it sounds like Bruce, so that was that. But yeah, I need a Lucinda, a Chulita, and a Jill. So if you guys have suggestions of colors,
then we hear there's an Andrea color coming up, but we'll keep that top secret for now.
Yes, because my mom
by
will
special
be
request, and that'll be a beautiful purple for
blue, the surprise.
For this. I know, but it,
I
just
color,
get too excited. Just the color. We don't know what it's gonna look like.
So you
gotta make it up first. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining us in our neck of the woods.
You're welcome. You should do a follow up and bring these guys on a road trip to Friendsgiving next weekend.
Oh yeah, so next weekend I'm going to we'll do just a snippet because I'd like to release this sooner. But so I'll give you a tour.
Video.
I'll give you a follow-up video of life at Woolerton Estates at Friendsgiving.
Yep.
And, we can call it Thanksgiving because we'll be thankful to have good friends and meet new ones and go to the lovely town of Stansted and see the pooches.
Yes.
So, well, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.